Check it.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we are back on Gran Turismo, and today we have an interesting challenge. So, as the title very well may say, today's challenge is the first car challenge. Now, as you guys may be aware, in the UK, insurance is a joke. You can't really get anything until you're 20, 21, maybe a year after if you're lucky. It depends, really. For me, you're looking at insurance on an MR2 being around 3k after a year of driving, which is still pretty bad. But what we're going to go ahead and do today is drive this Evo around the track. We're going to drive it around Brands Hatch, and we're going to see what lap time we can get. After that, we're going to go ahead and buy a first car for relatively cheap. As you can see, this is 35k, so probably going to buy something for around 10k, and then we're going to put 20k upgrades in, and we're going to see if we can beat the Evo around Brands Hatch. And basically, this is just kind of a video to warn you guys not to customize your car and save up for an Evo. Obviously, all you guys in the US, you're crashing your Mustangs, and you know, you're all good. You got BRZs, but by the time you're 5, so you know, that's not a worry. But for us people in the UK, you know, these times are struggles right now in these next gen streets. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna go ahead, set a lap time in the Evo for the first car to beat. So we're gonna go ahead and see what this can do. Now, obviously I'm on a controller. I was gonna go ahead and set up my wheel, but it would have just taken too long, too much hassle. We can do that for Gran Turismo Sport. But now, let's go ahead and set a lap. So let's see what we can do with this Evo. Immediately, the all-wheel drive is really pushing this car, like really pushing this car. It's a hell of a lot faster than the SW20 I've recently been racing on Gran Turismo recently. Oh my god, the pull! Brake late, on the power, no understeer, straight into the corner. Beautiful, and it's still pulling tremendously. Okay, brake. This corner's very, very weird. Don't understeer into a tree. Okay, now we're on the straight, so we're going to go ahead and find out how fast this can go on a straight line, and it seems like already hit 120 in a completely stock Evo. Oh, don't understeer into a tree. No, thank you. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I think it's genuinely going to be really hard for the first car to beat this time. This time is genuinely quite good. I don't know how on earth whatever car we pick is gonna beat this. This Evo has been absolutely rapid. It would have beat my MR2 by 10 seconds. That's absurd. Anyway, we've clocked a time of 152.2. So that is the time to beat. So we're gonna go ahead, go to the storefront, see what cars we can buy, and then tune it, and then see if it's worth customizing your first car. So yeah, let's go straight there. Okay, so here we are. Now, for the majority of people that live in the UK, it's kind of common knowledge at this point that you're either gonna buy a Clio, a Fiesta, or a Peugeot. Maybe a Honda if you're lucky, maybe a Beamer if you're rich, it depends really, or maybe an old Polo or something across those lines. But I think we're going to go for the obvious one, and that is an old Fiesta. How the fuck have they not got one? They've not got one. How can you have 8 types of Skyline but not have a Fiesta? Right, so that's put us to square one again. We need to decide on what car we're going to get. I think we'll look at Peugeots next. I think Peugeot, they'll have a lot of cars we can pick from. So we've got the 106, we've got the 206. Great cars, to be honest. Absolutely great car. Fuck. Let's carry on looking. You know, Gran Turismo's got a huge car list. Let's go to Renault. Let's have a look at Renault. They haven't got anything. Okay, never mind. Volkswagen. They've got the Lupo, a 1.4 Lupo. They've got... That's about it, really. There's no other first car candidates, really. You're not going to get a GTI over here as a first car. Way too much on insurance, so that's out of the park. Okay, so a Lupo is a choice. That also leaves us with 20k upgrades we could possibly spend. So, that is choice number 1. Mini's always an option. The Mini 1. We could go for that. That's a very viable option. That's pumping out 88 horsepower. So not much better, really. This one's pumping out 113, so that could be a choice. Genuinely quite hard of a choice. I didn't think it was going to actually be this hard to pick a car. Oh, we've got a C3. We could pick the C3. It's a 1.6. Definitely could get insured on a 1.6. And it's pushing out 108 horsepower. And it's only 18k. For me, that's a bargain. We're going to go ahead and buy a Citroen C3. And we're going to buy it in that beautiful... No, we're not going to buy it. It looks like a PS2 car. What the fuck? Right, very boring. Boring and French. Just white. Just leave it white. I think that's what we're going to buy it as. So let's buy the Citroen C3, our first car, and see if we can build it to be better than an Evo. Oh, that was a mistake. That was a waste of 18k. Okay, so here we go. We've got around a 20k to spend, so we've got quite a bit to spend. Now, we're going to go ahead, pop on the suspension. I think that's extremely important. And as well as that, we're going to go ahead and pop on, 7k. Shit, that's like a year's worth of earnings at McDonald's. I can't get rid of that. No, never mind. We're not. Okay, we're going to wait on the brakes for now. We're going to see how much it is to increase the power. 4.5. 4.5, not bad. That only takes our horsepower up to 122. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and put the ECU in because that makes a lot more sense. We're going to go ahead and slap the ECU in. 10k for an exhaust fan. 10k, what? No! I accidentally bought the racing exhaust, but we're not going to count that. I actually don't want that. It's 10k down the drain. I'm not spending 10k on that. But we do need a fart cannon, so we're going to spend 7k on that one. Right, the turbo's been bought. I've definitely gone over in terms of cost for this. I should not have spent as much as I did, to be honest. I've definitely spent at least 10k over, but it's okay. We're going to roll with it, and we're going to go ahead and see if the C3 can beat the Evo on a track. So yeah, let's go back to Brands Hatch. So it's the age-old question. Should you tune your first car? Now, obviously, this has only got a simplified interior, so we're going to go ahead and use the exterior view. It genuinely does look like a PS2 car. I've always heard people say that about cars on GT, but this genuinely looks like one, and oh my god, the turbos make this thing absolutely fly. Brake, 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 brake. So here we go. Is it possible for you to buy a C2 or any first car for that matter? This is universal. Can you do this to your Clio? Can you do this to your 107? Can you do this to your Fiesta? We will find out extremely shortly. Okay, this feels a lot faster. Oh my lord, did you see the backfire then? This thing is ridiculous. A 152 is the time we need to be, and this genuinely might do it. Okay, here we are on the straight. It's climbing. The C3 or C2, whatever it is, it's climbing. The 1.4, I think it was. 1.4 engine. It's going 105. Oh my lord. It's backfiring still. This isn't going to do it. No way. No way is a C3 going to be an Evo around a track. Fuck off. I just realised if you listen to the sound, even though Gran Turismo's got shit sounds, you can still hear the fart cannon. I'll put it up on the volume so you guys can hear it now. Okay, so like I said, 152 is the time to beat. So is it worth customizing your first car if you live in the UK? It's a resounding no. I thought it was going to beat it then, but it's lost dramatically. I really did forget how fast the Evo was. So the Evo got a 152. This got a 201. So a lot slower. So if you want to take one thing away from today's video, don't put a turbo in your C3. Save up for an Evo. That is the overall consensus of today's video. If you do end up customizing your first car, don't expect to beat an Evo at a track day. That is all there is to it. That is the moral of today's video. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.